the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
We're going to get this right. We're going to do it the right way, and we're not going to be influenced by because of some people who think that this should have happened and that should have happened.
Developing now at 7, frustrated and fired up. D.C. Police Chief Robert Contee giving an update on the 13-year-old boy who was shot and killed by a homeowner. Why he says that shooter is not facing charges yet.
Also, calls to end the gun violence, how local business owners are doing their part to search for solutions to a troubling trend in the DMV.
And weather-wise, increasing clouds for tonight, but those clouds are actually going to break apart. We're going to sit under mostly clear conditions. Temperatures still very much on the chilly side. And now our weather team tracking some widespread rain. I'll show you when. Coming up.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us for DC News Now at 7 o'clock. I'm Chris Flanagan.
And I'm Tasmeen Mahfouz. And developing right now new details in the Karan Blake case. He's a 13-year-old boy shot Saturday morning in the Brookland neighborhood of Northeast DC. A killing that's upset so many people in the area. Police know who did it, but they haven't arrested the man.
Our Daniel Hamburg was at the news conference today. He has the latest on the investigation.
Yeah, Chris, this is the most angry and frustrated I have seen him in quite some time. He's mainly frustrated about the misinformation swirling online about the shooter. There have been community groups trying to track down exactly who this is. What Chief Contee said is that announcing that person's name could jeopardize this case. They are working closely with the U.S. Attorney's Office here in D.C. to make a case here to figure out whether or not the shooter should be charged. What we can tell you is that police were called to the scene. They found the man who shot Karan Blake doing CPR. They actually said that the man who shot him called 911 as well. He was doing CPR on the scene. They say at this point there is just not enough information to go and arrest him. I asked why on the initial police report that there was listed a charge of murder 2, which means that at some point, according to an attorney I talked with, there could have been a premeditation, not initially, but to pick up a gun and shoot somebody. So that murder 2 charge could be on the table here. A grand jury will decide that. But take a listen to what Chief Contee had to say when I asked him why this man was not arrested on the spot when police arrived.
If our police officers felt like there was probable cause in consultation with the U.S. Attorney's Office, that this is a case that will be able to move forward through the justice system at that time, then an arrest can be made. There are a lot of cases that happen in our city where arrests are not immediately made because all of the facts are not known.
And Chief Contee said that it would be doing a disservice to the family of Karan Blake to release that man's name. He says that it is a black man who shot Karan Blake. There had been a lot of speculation whether race was a factor in this case, in the shooting, or whether race was a factor in police not releasing his name. What Contee said was that this man was not former law enforcement, as some people have been speculating. He has been cooperating with police, but Contee says the shooter now has an attorney. But the main point that Contee wants to get across is, as my colleague Marielle Carbone reported last night, that there were community groups looking to go through that street where the shooting happened to find the shooter. Contee says there have been images circulating online of potential suspects in this case, and he says that needs to stop.
Imagine if it was your picture beside his, and people showed up at your house with half information. That's unacceptable. Let the police do the police job. We'll do what it is we need to do to investigate.
And Contee says that they, again, are working closely with the U.S. Attorney's Office. This will eventually go to a grand jury. We're told where that grand jury will decide if and what charges should be brought against the shooter. What we can tell you also is Contee says this man did have a registered gun and he did have a concealed carry permit. At this point, Contee says there is no reason to take that permit away from the man. In Washington, Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
All right, our Mario Carbone is in the neighborhood right now of much more in their story coming up in DC News Now at 9 and 10 o'clock. All right, for now, let's get a first check on the forecast.
Yeah, we got Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb here. And Janessa, it's going to stay this cold all week.
Yeah, it's been kind of up and down. We're on that temperature roller coaster across the district. Really noticeable today was the increasing clouds. What happened to all that bright sunshine that we dealt with yesterday? It kind of faded away because we have multiple very weak disturbances, and there's not a lot of moisture with these disturbances. Normally, when we see a good cold front, it comes with a good amount of rain. Really not seeing that as it's crossing over the mountains into the Appalachians, really starting to dissipate. And so we're getting lucky compared to Detroit, Columbus, out towards PA, into Erie, PA as well. Any moisture is really not being allowed into the district, and it's causing us to see increasing clouds. The theme for tonight, mostly clear skies. So that's a super positive situation, but we're going to be on this kind of cycle where clouds return by mid-afternoon tomorrow. Taking a look at the next 3 days, we are under the influence of a very quiet weather pattern. Really not going to be tracking a storm system until we go into your Thursday. The jet stream, it wants to live more towards the north. That'll allow a system to come in, impacting Atlanta, Charlotte, Raleigh, Durham, Richmond, into the district, even Philadelphia, and it's going to provide a good swath of rain, even a few rumbles of thunder as we go into your late Thursday. We'll check out that system coming up.
Okay, Janessa, thanks. All new tonight. A two-car crash involving a school bus in Shenandoah County, Virginia, injuring 5 people, including 4 students. We're told those students were taken to the hospital for minor injuries. Police say a pickup truck rear-ended that school bus while it was waiting for another school bus to unload children. The driver of the pickup was injured and treated on scene.
An online takedown. Fairfax County Police have arrested 7 men who they say are part of an online predator sting. They called it Traveler Operation. Officers posed as children, started back in December. Police say the men used a chat. They arrived to the agreed locations, and then they were arrested. The ages for the men, they range from 26 years old to 52 years old. They're now facing multiple charges.
All new tonight, right now, the calls for an end of violence growing louder in Southeast D.C. This all comes as we approach Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Our Annalisa Gale is on the street that's named after the civil rights activist with a closer look at the new campaign.
But unfortunately, when it starts happening too often, we start to become numb to it, and we assume that just the way it's supposed to be, what is not.
Using a line from the 10 Commandments, community activists met on Tuesday at Busboys and Poets in Southeast Washington to demand change.
Thou shalt not kill.
It's a campaign former D.C. council member William Lightfoot used to fight back in the early 90s.
Murders were way up above what we have today. The murders then were like between 400 and 500 people a year.
And he's bringing it back at the start of 2023.
Well, the ultimate goal is we hope that people will, those that are thinking about committing violence, will think twice and not commit violence.
The community gathering here at the Southeast restaurant comes less than 2 weeks after a Busboys and Poets employee was shot and killed nearby. He was identified as 24-year-old Mario Leonard.
It was a very, very sad, sad day.
Busboys and Poets founder and CEO Andy Shalal says he remains committed to collaborating with others to find solutions.
Unless we involve the community, there's not enough security or enough bars to put on a window to end this senseless violence. I think we have to get people engaged.
And as many prepare to remember civil rights activist Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., organizers are preparing to spread the biblical message throughout the city.
Signs will go up on the poles. They'll be up and down Martin Luther King Avenue on Martin Luther King's Day Parade. They'll be so you'll see them everywhere. We've now got sweatshirts. We didn't have the sweatshirts before. We expect to get them in churches. They want to put them in schools. We're going to have yard signs.
In Southeast Washington, Annalisa Gale, DC News Now.
All right, according to an independent poll, Governor Larry Hogan reached an approval rating of nearly 90% among African-American voters. Coming up, it is the second part of our interview with the outgoing governor. Show you how he says he was able to achieve that incredibly high mark.
Plus, the Commanders have made a major change in the coaching staff ahead. Our sports director, Derek Forrest, goes in the details of Scott Turner's firing.
Okay, we're in that pattern of up and down, temperatures warming up and then overnight lows back in the 20s. As I said before, we're tracking rain. We'll show the timing coming up.